E360 TV proudly presents messages of inspirational stories. Live streaming now to millions of devices, including Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, with your host, Donna and Jim, producer and host, Jim Grant, producer and host, along with Michaela Vidal, administrator and host, and Gaia Ginwa Balconi Wada, editor-in-chief. You gonna say something or not?
No, I'm not.
I was making a face with Donna right before we went live, just trying to crack her up. And in other words, I was acting naturally.
Right.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The Messages of Inspirational Stories is brought to you by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com and our real good friend, and I say real good friend, Mr. Bill Heinrich. He is the author of The 7 Levels of Truth. And in a nutshell, this book is for anyone that's seeking answers, solutions, and they want success in their life. Because Bill covers those only 2 major emotions in life. There's love and there is fear. Mm-hmm. And fear is all physical, and you need to live the abundance of life that you were created for. Because we all have our special calling, don't we?
We do. We do. Well, I'm excited about today, Jim. Today we're talking, of course, about finding health naturally. And today we are going to be talking about teas, as in herbal teas.
Yes, ma'am. And if I may, I would like to give a shout out to a company. These folks don't even know we're doing this. We use the teas here at our house, and I think Donna does too.
Yep.
And that is Celestial Seasons. They make some of the greatest teas that we really enjoy. We really do, because it's all natural. And now is the time for us to be able to make sure that we build up our bodies heading into the winter months for cold and flu and all that. And something's happening to our banner down there. I got to put a quarter in this thing. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, maybe it's a person who did the banner.
I wonder who that was.
Good help, folks. Good help.
Yeah. Well, what can I say? It's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. No. But we're going to be covering some great benefits about teas today. Donna and she's already drinking some good tea there.
I am
too.
I'm drinking chamomile honey vanilla tea.
Chamomile honey vanilla. What else you got in that tea? That was a little.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't drink sugar in my tea, and I seldom put even honey in my tea. And this is actually by Celestial Seasons. And the one thing I want to say before we start into some of the amazing things that we found for you today, folks, about the benefits of tea, is make sure when you go look for teas that you get organic, non-GMO, genetically modified food. Okay. Genetically modified food is absolutely horrible for you.
Oh, yeah. Right? I mean, it's just, avoid that like you would, the COVID virus. Yeah.
The plague. Yeah.
And there's a lot of good tea companies out there. It's just the Celestial Seasons that happens to be mine and Donna's preference. We just want to give those folks a shout out, and they don't even know we're doing it. So,
I actually, I buy all different kinds of tea, and I really do. And I get, my husband ends up, God love him, he knows how much I like tea. And so he'll buy me teas at Christmas or something and stick in my stocking. And always surprises me. And I have one that I believe is ginger and peach. And that's really good. And ginger is really good for you too. Oh, right? Yeah. So really we'll kind of jump in here. So what are the health benefits of tea? Well, people all over the world have been drinking tea for thousands of centuries, and for good reason, right? Studies have shown that a variety of teas may boost your immune system,
Hmm.
fight off inflammation, and even ward off cancer and heart disease. Some of the
Hmm.
brews provide more health advantages than others, but there's plenty of evidence that regularly drinking tea can have a lasting impact on your wellness,
Hmm.
right? Mm,
Yeah. So put the kettle on, crank up, turn that thing on with water
that's
in it and get ready. Donna, one of the things that I've been looking at recently, it came to me as about dandelion. Dandelion is a wonderful tea. People know, we've been told, dandelion's a weed, it's ugly, get rid of it and all that. Do some, just do your own personal research about the benefits of dandelion, because with me overcoming a heart attack and open heart surgery, cabbage, four bypasses. Sound what kind of? I got my tea here.
well, apparently Jim's just having a hard time finding his teeth and tongue today.
Yeah, no, it's the brain and tongue. That's the see. There's a gap there in between it, but because of the side effects of the prescription medications, that's what I don't like. And
Right.
a lot of cardiologists are veering slowly away from that as they become more educated in these things. Just like I say, do your homework on that,
Well,
because
yeah,
yeah,
because if you are on medication, you want to make sure that whatever that you
yes,
take, whatever you drink, is not
hmm,
going to be either have a null and void effect on the medication you
that's
need,
right.
or have a detrimental
Yeah,
effect on you
yeah.
because of that medication,
Oh, you
right?
better believe it, because I talked to two different cardiologists. The one that original one, and I let them know what's going on. I'm not going out here on a renegade, because that would be foolish.
Right.
I mean, it would be just foolish, and I'll leave it at that.
Hmm.
But Donna, one of the things that I haven't known too much about is white tea.
I drink a lot of white tea, Jim.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. And
Would
it's
you share
very
some of the
good.
benefits with us, please, ma'am?
Yeah, absolutely. It has a really, really delicate flavor. Okay. And it comes from Camellia
Mhm.
sinensis plant, if I said that right. And
Yeah.
it's a native to China and India. And it is also the least processed tea variety.
Hmm.
But research shows that it's the most effective tea in fighting various forms of cancer, thanks to the high level of antioxidants. And white tea may also be good for your teeth since it contains a high source of fluoride and catechins and
Catchings.
tannins,
Yeah.
and that can strengthen your teeth, fight
Mm.
plague, and make it more resistant to acid and sugar.
Mm.
This variety also offers the least amount of caffeine, making it a smart choice for tea drinkers who want to avoid or limit their caffeine consumption.
Mm.
So I really like it because it is a very subtle, delicate flavor.
Mhm.
And most of the teas I drink are caffeine free.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, 'cause
drink caffeine in the morning, but I really don't want a whole lot of it at night.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I drink, herbal teas from time to time, especially in the wintertime, because that's when I like my hot teas, and that's when I
Mhm.
like my homemade soups and all that. But I got to be honest with you, folks. I'm never, when you say white tea, I mean, do you see a box that says white tea on it? Because I've never, to
Mhm.
my knowledge, never had it. It just says white tea, huh?
Well, it'll say white tea and it'll have other things with it sometimes. So
Oh, okay.
it's kind of like, Jim, when you buy, say, a certain kind of pickup truck or a certain car with a
Oh,
certain
yeah.
color,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see every dang one on the road,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So when you're not looking for it, you don't see it. So when
Mm-hmm.
you go in, you look for it. I guarantee you go down that tea aisle in the grocery and
Yeah.
it's going to pop out like that at you.
Okay, I'm going to keep that, because what I really like there about what you said, and this is so critical, this is one of the things that I pay very, very close attention to, and I encourage you folks out there in TV land to do the same thing. When it talks about scientific studies,
Right.
that's what you want to look in at and focus in on. You don't care about John C. in Fremont, Oklahoma, or if there is a town named Fremont in Oklahoma. But my point is, testimonials are just opinions.
Right.
John C. may be their brother-in-law, or it could be a fictitious person to make up a testimony. But go look at the studies, do the research, because you're talking about your health, you're talking about your nutrition, and being able to build up your immunity system. Naturally, that is the first and best defense you can have against any sickness, illness, disease, whatever. I like that.
Well, let's think about this. Let's take this back a second.
Okay.
How long has China and Japan, we'll just take those two countries, been drinking tea? Right? They drink a lot of tea. You go into a Chinese restaurant or a Japanese restaurant and you get tea. They drink it for a reason. They drink it for a reason. And I got to tell you, they have a long longevity. And both those countries aren't prone to eating a lot of processed food.
That's true.
Right? High in veggies with protein, but high in veggies. I don't think, honestly, most of us eat enough veggies on a daily, weekly consumption. And I know that's something that I told my husband that we're going to start eating even more veggies,
Yeah.
But they also don't age, it seems like we do here in America.
I know it. Should we be mad?
Yes, absolutely. There is a time to be mad.
There's a rhyme and a reason. That's the rhyme. You know the reason. But really, I mean, you're exactly right. When you said that, I thought, that's exactly right, because the folks over there, they don't eat all the processed foods that we do. And they don't eat all of the stuff that, or drink all the stuff that we, take as everyday, drinks for us. And we pay the price for that. We really do. I mentioned on a previous show that right after World War I was over and we started into the roaring 20s, of course, we had the Spanish flu, and then people were sick and tired of death, doom and gloom, and they wanted to, go and grow. And that's what's happening now and around the world after this COVID virus is over, or, been peaked and, that sort of thing. But my point being, ladies and gentlemen, processed foods started becoming more of a staple in the house. And as the increase of processed foods were introduced into the American families, guess what happened with heart disease?
Well,
it ran parallel with it.
Every disease, not just heart disease, Jim, let's be honest, because all of your autoimmune diseases start in your gut.
Yeah,
every one of them.
You're right.
And I know I have two of them. And I grew up eating home cooked meals, right? And I've always cooked.
That's right.
I have always cooked, but they start in your gut. So, it is something that we need to take, a really close look at for yourself and your family.
Yeah. And I thank you for correcting me on that, because everything that I'm looking at now is about the old heart, since I had the heart attack,
Well, absolutely. That's what comes to your mind.
Forgive me on that, folks, but thank you for correcting me on that.
But that's what comes to your mind in forefront. But, think about it. You've got arthritis is up. You've got fibromyalgia is up. You've got diabetes has gone through the roof, right? Not only childhood diabetes, but adult diabetes. It's absolutely through the roof.
Yeah, it really is.
So, everything comes down to what can we do? I look at it like this. What can we do for our health? Are you going to be a victim, or are you going to be a victor?
Yes. Because when it comes to nutrition, our food should be our first line of defense for good health. Absolutely. Because there's a reason why they call supplements. They're just the icing on the cake of what we eat. And
okay, but can I just play devil's advocate there?
Sure, please do.
Quick? One of the reasons that supplements has become such a booming industry, folks, is because our soil is nutritionally deprived. Okay, Jim, you know this. You grew up on a farm,
Mm-hmm.
right? I grew up with,
Yeah.
my grandparents having what they'd call a garden, right? And their garden would put most people to
Mm.
shame, right? It wasn't just a garden. I mean, to
Mm-hmm.
them it was,
Yeah.
but it was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I've always had a garden. And so, but our soil, because of the contaminants we have in the world,
Mm-hmm.
Jim,
Yeah.
our soil isn't getting the nutrition it needs when we grow our food.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we take that into account, and then if you buy processed food, it's like a
Mm.
double whammy.
You're exactly right, because the earth, I'm glad you pointed that out, Donna, because the earth cannot replenish its minerals. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Right. That's why when you garden, you have to understand, number one, the region you're at and the soil you have.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know what you need to add to it to bring the soil into a
Mm-hmm.
healthy sustainability.
Yeah.
I know here in Phoenix area, when I plant, I make sure I go out and I dig up, and I always get earthworm castings,
Hmm.
right? Because when you have earthworms in your soil, you
Mm-hmm.
have healthy soil.
That's
If
right.
you don't have earthworms in your soil and you want to plant some vegetables, you have
Mm-hmm.
dead soil.
You're exactly right. I hadn't thought of it like that, but you're exactly right. I remember as a kid, we used to dig up, worms, to
Oh
go
yeah,
fishing. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that's,
night crawlers.
oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, you're exactly right about that. I'm so glad you pointed that out, and it's really amazing, the total benefits of herbal teas, and you mentioned the over in China and Japan. I think they started first drinking tea the second day after the duck learned how to swim. That's a It's been a long time, but look at their healthy lifestyle.
Mhm.
That is, you're entitled to that. We all are, because herbal teas. They're very similar to the white teas that Donna spoke about, but they also contain a blend of herbs and spices and fruits and other plants, in addition just to the tea leaves. Herbal teas, they do contain some amount of caffeine, and which is why they're known for their calming properties. And let's talk about one of them. I know this one here is one of yours, chamomile tea.
Yes, I love
Oh,
chamomile tea.
oh, yeah.
It is truly one of my favorites. It
Hmm.
is absolutely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It does so many things,
Oh, yeah.
right? They say it helps reduce, menstrual pain as well as
Hmm.
muscle spasms, but it
Right.
improves sleep and relaxation
Yeah.
and reduces stress.
Hmm.
And, when I drink it, and I know it does all those good things,
Hmm.
but for me, um, especially in the fall, I just turned
Hmm.
our AC off, not because it was running, but because it wasn't running. It hasn't been running for about a week, which is really a big celebration here in the valley.
Even the cat had said something there, huh?
Right. But I drink it because it's one of those things that just makes me feel good. Even
Mm.
aside from all of the benefits,
Yes.
I love the
Yes.
taste and I love the way for me, it's like that grown up drink, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I would give it to my kids when they were little. They would have
Hmm.
chamomile tea. If they were having a
Oh,
hard
yeah.
time sleeping, I'd give them chamomile tea.
Hmm.
And I mean, there's just so many, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hit a
Let
couple
me
of the other
let
ones.
me just say one thing. Regardless of what teas you put in your body, the teas that, if Don and I drink identical cup of tea, my body will pull out of the tea what it needs and
Correct.
let the rest of it, go on through my body. And Donna's body may pick out the same or more properties out of the tea that benefit her body. So
Right.
that is one of the benefits, huge benefits with teas. And yes, let's roll on. Let's talk about a
Well, I
little bit
think what
more.
you're saying is my body's in more of a gifted program than yours is.
Well, I wouldn't. What can I say? Mercy. I'm glad humble pie is not, fat. Well, rubibos, did I pronounce that correctly?
I think so.
Rubibos. Okay. Now, this particular tea, I'm not familiar with it, but I'm
I'm
going to
not
take a
either, to be honest with
closer
you.
look at it because, Donna, this improves blood pressure
Hmm.
and circulation. It boosts good cholesterol while it lowers the bad
Yeah, I
cholesterol.
want to know more about that.
Yeah, me and you both. And it keeps our hair strong, our skin healthy, and it provides relief from allergies. And it makes talk show hosts brag about it.
Maybe.
Yeah. You're going to, before this show's over, she's going to ask me what I put in my tea, and I'm not going to say. Just put tea in there, just
He,
tea and water.
he's going to lie to me about it, folks. He's going to lie to me about it. Well, have you drank this next one, Jim? Peppermint tea?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I
Love it,
have.
love it, love it.
Hmm.
It contains menthol, which can soothe an upset tummy
Hmm.
and serve as a cure for constipation, IBS, and motion sickness.
Oh, yeah.
This tea also offers a variety of pain relief from tension headaches and migraines.
Hmm. It's a wonderful tea. It really is. And that's a wonderful thing I like about teas because if you're zeroing in on a specific problem or issue that concerns you, there's a tea out there that can help you get accomplish your goal.
Mhm.
This next one, oh my goodness gracious, I love ginger because ginger they use it to help fight morning sickness, which I don't have to worry about that. But it's used to help treat people who suffer from chronic indigestion,
Mhm.
and it also helps to relieve joint pain caused by osteoarthritis.
Right, which is what I have.
Yeah,
And
and
it is wonderful. It is
oh yeah.
wonderful. And I have it with a blend, and I can't remember what the other one is,
Hmm.
but it's a ginger something blend, and
Hmm.
it's really, really good.
Hmm. Yeah, you're exactly right. This other one, the next one here, Donna, I've never drank it. Have you?
Oh, yeah. It is so good.
Hibiscus? Hmm.
Uh-huh. It lowers your blood pressure and fat levels, and
Hmm.
it improves your overall liver health. And it
Ooh.
can starve off cravings for unhealthy sweets
Mm.
and may prevent the formation of kidney stones.
Wow. That's a
Mhm.
huge benefit because I know a lot of people out there like myself who are chocoholics. I mean, when if I see chocolate, I'm attracted to that like it's a magnet and I'm metal.
Right?
And I mean, it's one of my weaknesses in life. And it's kind of tough to self discipline yourself, especially if nobody's watching.
You
That's
mean if
like,
Evelyn's out of town, is what you're saying?
yeah. I mean, one time, Emma made some nice homemade cookies, and she was in Tucson with her mom. Her mom had just suffered a stroke, and I said, I went out there with her, but I had to come back home, take care of business. I still have my business. And she called me. She says, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm doing fine." She says, "Did you have a good breakfast?" I said, "Yeah, I did okay." She said, "What'd you have?" I said, "Some cookies and coffee." Cookies and coffee. Well, at the time, ladies and gentlemen, it seemed like an absolutely brilliant idea.
Well, apple pie and coffee, or
Mm.
apple pie and a glass of milk is like one of
Mm.
the best breakfasts, in my opinion, you can have.
Oh, I remember at night we used to go over and to the restaurant there. We'd have apple pie with a scoop of ice cream and some black coffee. Mm.
Hmm.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Anyway,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
Meanwhile, where were we?
So, one of the other, okay, black tea is really interesting. It's
Yes.
it's actually the leaves of the Chamomile sinensis plant, which is the same as green tea. However, the
Hmm.
leaves are dried and fermented, giving black tea a darker color and a richer flavor.
Hmm.
Unlike many other varieties, black tea is caffeinated, so it's important to monitor your intake,
Hmm.
right? But you benefit from the flavonoids, and it helps combat inflammation and support healthy immune function. But you don't have to drink merely black tea to benefit from its healthy properties. It can be steamed, cooled, and then pressed on minor cuts, scrapes, and
Mhm.
bruises to relieve pain and reduce swelling. A black tea bath can also ease inflammation caused by skin rashes and conditions such as poison ivy.
Hmm. That's interesting because I've already learned some things today, ladies and gentlemen, I did not realize about tea. And I also realized that I'm glad me and Donna are just talking about tea because we were doing a TV show on beer. I don't think we'd be able to get the words out.
Well, especially if we were drinking beer.
Yeah, I mean to
And
tell you,
neither
we're
one of us drink, so there you
yeah,
go.
isn't that the truth? Yeah, that's true.
Well, have you
That's
ever
true.
had oolong tea?
No, ma'am, I haven't, but Evelyn's mentioned it to me, but I'm definitely going to try it. I want to be open minded about teas. And the one thing I've noticed about teas is that you know, Donna, you probably can say this too, but when you drink them, you can feel that your body's saying, hey, this is good stuff for me, you know?
Yeah, it's funny because it doesn't matter what kind of tea I'm drinking.
Yeah.
My body is almost into a relaxed mode.
Hmm. Hmm.
Whether it's hibiscus, or whether it's ginger, whether it's chamomile. My husband loves orange spice tea.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
loves that
Yeah.
tea. And there's several others I have, and
Hmm.
we have a little cupboard that has
Mm.
teas in it and stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
honestly, half the time, especially in like dead of winter, it looks like the grocery store lives at my house for the tea aisle.
Yeah, I hear you. They come if they run out of tea, they'll send them over to Donna's
Yeah,
house.
pretty much, pretty much.
You know, I was sharing with Donna before the show, ladies and gentlemen, that I remember back in I was in my 20s, and a lot of guys, you know, we would be talking about one guy would say, "Hey, you know, my granny boy, she loves her tea, and she drinks that tea and tells how good she is, and ha ha ha." But you know what? Granny was the smart one. We were the dumb ones.
Right.
We didn't know. We were just, you know, because Evelyn's grandmother, she swore by her teas. She had 12 children. She didn't have any female problems. She lived up to her mid 90s. And every time the 12 children she gave natural birth to, it was at home.
Mhm.
I mean, this lady, she was as sweet as she could be, and she was tough as nails.
Right.
She
Well,
really was. Go ahead.
Jim, let's jump down to, and why
Mhm.
don't you read about teas to avoid? Because I think
Oh,
this is as important or more
mm.
important than the good teas.
It really is. There's a majority of teas here that are beneficial for your health, and you want to make sure that you steer clear of some varieties here. Detox teas made for fad diets suggest that you will lose weight quickly. Stay away from that. These teas often come laced with laxatives, and they can be harmful to your health. And another tea that comes up is fancy tea lattes and drinks from your favorite chain store. While some of these drinks, such as a green tea latte, may appear healthy, but many times they're loaded down with sugar. Also, there's trendy bubble teas. I've seen those, and they are also loaded with sugar, calories, and carbs, and they have little to no nutritional value to you at all. So don't drink any of those teas there thinking you're going to get the benefits of, a tea that doesn't have sugar or other additives with it. Herbal teas that may be potentially trigger allergies. Um, Many herbal teas contain different types of fruits, herbs, spices, and flowers that some people are allergic to. If you have allergies, always read the ingredients on any package
Right.
before you consume a herbal tea. That's just common sense, but we want to make sure we make that share that information with you because it's you know just because it's a tea. I mean,
Right.
if you're allergic to something, you're allergic to something. So just avoid it. Your body
Right.
doesn't need it. There's other
Right.
teas out there your body will need.
Well, it's often talked about how long you need to steep a tea to get its most
Yeah,
benefit. And
yeah.
it says that, nutritionalists all agree that any tea is good tea. And I think that comes down to choice,
Hmm.
right? So we drink really strong coffee, you know.
Hmm.
Pretty much if you can't stand on the damn thing, don't drink it. So I like my tea very strong. So I steep it a long time. That's me.
Hmm.
That's my preference. I want to be able to taste it.
Hmm.
But not everybody is going to have that, that desire. So that is strictly, truly up to you.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to the teas, always steep it to your taste buds.
Mhm.
And again, your body has this very unique ability of communicating back to you that, hey, if it's good for the body, it'll let you know you're going to feel good.
Right.
Because we're all familiar with eating something that wasn't good for us, and afterwards, we don't feel good. So your body will be able to do that because uh, some people like stronger tea, some people don't. So just
Right.
just whatever you want to do. And one of the things that they mention here about the health benefits of herbal teas, and they're made from herbs and fruits and seeds and roots and steeped in hot water. Herbal teas have lowered concentrations of antioxidants than green, white, black, or oolong teas. Okay, so they're not as high in the antioxidants, but the varieties include like a ginger, ginkgo biloba. Did I say that right? Ginkgo.
I Okay, now you said it. I'm not going to be able to say it.
I know it. I did that to you on purpose. I did that.
You're mean.
No, no, no. I'm just having a little fun today.
You're just
No,
mean
but
today.
you know, ginseng, hibiscus, and jasmine, rosehip, mint, rubulus, which is red tea. Oh my goodness,
You know what
chamomile, and
else is good? Is raspberry tea. Mm,
I've
that's
had some of
amazing.
that. Yeah.
Now, one of the things they talk about in here, Jim, on health benefits on the green tea
Hmm. Uh-huh.
that we didn't cover is that the
Okay.
green tea's antioxidants may interfere with the growth of bladder, breast, lung, stomach, pancreatic, and uh, colorectal cancers.
Yes, that's
Prevent,
right.
prevent clogging of arteries,
Hmm.
burn fat, counteract oxidative stress on the brain,
Mm.
reduce the risk of neurological disorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and reduce the risk of stroke and
Hmm.
improve cholesterol levels. So
Oh yeah.
that is huge right there.
Hmm. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I was reading there too because some of the teas have echinacea in them, and echinacea is a great
Mhm.
defense for your bodies to fight off colds and flus and things like that. And I remember years ago, back in the '90s, I stopped by this guy. He was a pharmacist, but he had herbs and stuff like that. Of course, the regular prescription stuff he carried, and I was telling him about, the sniffles and the sneezes I'd get. And he says, well, just take echinacea. And I said, what's
Mhm.
echinacea? And he started telling me about it. And that was the very first herb that I had really learned anything about. And I keep it in the house. And you don't
Mhm.
take it all the time because your body can build up immunity to
Right.
echinacea. But you take it as soon as you start feel like you're getting a little chilled or something, and take it for a few days, then you're off of it.
Right.
That's a wonderful, wonderful herb.
So one of the other things I'd like to jump in and talk about is that if
Okay.
you are one of the people, like I don't drink anything in my coffee, I drink it black. I don't
Mhm.
put anything in my tea. But when I do, on a rare occasion, want a sweetener in my tea,
Mm.
I use honey. Now,
Mm.
let's talk about that for a second. I pay quite a hefty sum, but I buy honey that is indigenous to the area in which I live in.
Hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
important because
Mm.
those are now the allergens, right? The allergies we have in your area, may like in
Mhm.
Phoenix, aren't going to be maybe what they are back east because you have
Mm.
different plant
Yes.
life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the bees know this. The bees are an amazing
Mm.
creature. They're
Mm.
an amazing creature.
Mm.
And so it is really important when you buy that, get organic and buy local for
Local.
the
Hmm.
area you're in.
Yeah, that's a great point. And one of the things that I like to do occasionally when I'm having some coffee is put a cinnamon stick in there,
Hmm.
and it's
I've
really
even
good.
I even put I've done where I take the coffee grind and put a little powdered cinnamon right in the coffee grind and mix it up. Oh,
Mm.
that's tasty.
Oh yeah, and make your ears flapping. No, it's really good. It's good for you too. It's kind of different for a nice little treat. It
Right?
really is. And I think we talked about the black tea. I believe we covered that pretty
Mhm.
much. It is the highest in caffeine, and studies now, not testimonies, but studies have actually shown that black tea may protect the lungs from damage caused by exposure to cigarette smoke,
Right.
and it may also reduce the risk of a stroke. And again, the white tea comes up here. We got
Hmm.
that again, uncured and unfermented. That's really, but it has a potent anti-cancer properties compared to other processed teas. So if you're concerned about cancer and stuff like that, you may want to take a look at white tea. Make sure it's unprocessed and that sort of thing. And but take a serious look at it. That because everything we suggest here, we encourage you to do your own research. We're not any
No.
type of a doctor or anything like that. We're just sharing some good information we
Right.
find with you folks out there in TV land.
Well, hibiscus tea is has antiviral properties,
Hmm.
and test tube studies have shown its extract
Hmm.
is can be highly effective against strains of the bird flu.
Hmm.
So it says that there's no evidence that has shown that drinking hibiscus tea could help you fight off viruses like the flu. But
Hmm.
a number of studies have investigated the effects of hibiscus tea on high blood lipid levels. And a
Hmm.
few studies have found it to be effective. Through a large review, found it did not have a significant effect on blood lipid levels. So again, you know, one study says one thing, one study says another.
Hmm.
But uh, it's very good. And honestly, I just can't see how it can be, for me,
Hmm.
how it can be bad for you, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
it is of nature. Let's put it
Hmm.
that way. It is of nature. So, but
And again,
again, there's things that you have to be careful drinking certain teas if you're taking certain medications,
yes,
like
yes.
diuretic medications,
Hmm.
etc. So, um, it also will shorten the effects of aspirin.
Oh yeah, oh
Hmm.
yeah. So be sure and communicate with your healthcare provider and let them know that what you're thinking of doing, not doing, but thinking of doing, and make sure that whatever the tea is or whatever the supplement may be that you're considering, it will not, be in contrast with the medication that you're on, because that could be very detrimental to your health. And when it comes to like the red tea, that South African herb that it is fermented. Although it has flavonoids with cancer fighting properties, medical studies have been limited on it, but it's been looking very, very promising. One thing about teas, regardless, there is no one that can say that teas are not good for you. We know that. We know that from centuries, and
Hmm.
there's been studies on that. And the wonderful thing about your body, two things. Number one, as I said earlier, your body will let you know, hey, I like this. And number two, the properties in that tea, your body will pull out the properties that it needs. And what it doesn't need is just let it go on down the digestive system. And that's a wonderful thing about our bodies, where
Hmm.
with other things that have side effects, or if we have allergies, the body's got to deal with that. So that's a wonderful blessing too.
So I'm just reading here about lemon balm tea.
What kind of tea?
Lemon balm.
Lemon balm.
Yeah, I've grown
Hmm.
it. It's kind of an interesting little plant. So it is a light lemony flavor that has health promoting properties. And small studies of people have shown that when they drink it for 6 weeks, that the lemon balm tea group had
Mm.
improved elasticity in their arteries. So arterial stiffness is considered a risk factor or thickness, right, for heart disease, stroke, and mental decline. So some people who drank lemon balm tea also had increased skin elasticity, which
Hmm.
typically tends to decline with age. So, it just kind of depends. And I got to be honest, I know that they almost every one of them, all the teas out there have immense uh, properties, health properties, and for us. But I drink them honestly because I so enjoy them. And so
Hmm.
for me, having the health benefits from them, that's just a bonus, Jim.
That's the icing on the cake, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is. It is.
Mhm.
It truly is.
And earlier we mentioned we wanted to give a shout out to Celestial Seasons, and I really, I mean, we buy this product among other products from tea companies, but the one that really gets me that they put out is a product called Sleepy Time.
Oh, I like that tea. That's a good one.
Yes. Yeah, I got to tell you a story about that. I had been driving, long ways, and because I drive a lot, and I prefer to get in my car and I can take anything and everything that I want because I don't have any problem flying. I just hate airports. You feel like cattle being shuffled through a chute there. But I had been driving. I drove from El Paso to Brenham and just stopped for stretch my legs, get gas, that sort of thing. And but I got in about 9:30 one night, 10 o'clock, and I was just bone tired. And I was so tired, I had trouble going to sleep. And I said, let me make a tea for you. And I thought, well, I don't really feel like a tea. She says, let me make a tea for you. And it was Sleepy Time. And I'm telling you, that was, as the old saying goes, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. That thing relaxed me.
Hmm.
It made me a believer. So when you come home at night after a hard day that's been aggravating and maybe you're stressed or whatever, and you're looking at different things, uh, it's amazing how, you know, you can just get wound up and just kind of like, you just don't feel like you can unwind. I
Right.
would highly recommend for you to try some Sleepy Time tea.
It's
They're
good
on
tea.
their website, and I'm reading this, if I may. This most beloved of herbal teas gets its comforting aroma and perfectly balanced flavor from a blend of soothing herbs,
Hmm.
including delicate chamomile, cool spearmint, and fresh lemongrass. Wind down your day with some Sleepy Time tea. And I'm going to go ahead and finish sharing this, if I may. Sleepy Time is the original bedtime tea. More than 40 years ago, the folks here at Celestial Seasons, they created a truly soothing herbal tea to help folks wind down from the day. And today, their common Sleepy Time blend of botanicals is available in herbal, decaf green, and wellness teas. So you can always find the perfect cup for your bedtime routine. And Donna, my goodness, I love when I look at the nutritional facts that they put here. This is very important. Zero fat, zero
Hmm.
sodium, zero carbohydrates, zero protein. And they put right in there the ingredients: chamomile, spearmint, lemongrass, tilliflowers, blackberry leaves, hawthorn, and rosebuds. And
Hmm.
that is so critical when you look at uh, the when you look at the ingredients to make sure, because sometimes you see things in there and you go like, okay, I don't know what that is. Look it up.
Right.
Look it up. Take time and look it up. And
Well,
it's
rose
just
hip
a
is really high in vitamin C, Jim.
mhm. Yes,
So that
yes, it
you
is.
you can't go wrong with that.
Mm-mm. Donna, vitamin C and like you take, vitamin D, and I do too. And I think you take, how much of vitamin D do you take? If you don't mind sharing it, please.
Well, it's different for me because of my MS.
Hmm.
I don't, my body does not retain vitamin D. And that
Mm-hmm.
was one of the first markers when they ran a full blood panel on me years
Hmm.
ago. That was the first alarm that
Hmm.
it was almost non existent. And
Hmm.
vitamin D does many things for your body. But of course, one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
things, I mean, if you read up on it, it'll blow your mind what it
Hmm.
does throughout your entire body.
Yes. Hmm.
Uh, we don't even have time to even start on that. But I take about 10,000 units, the vitamin D3, the units
See
uh,
you.
mhm, of vitamin D. And that's
Hmm.
so I can maintain my vitamin D level and have energy and not be
Hmm.
so tired. That
Yeah.
is one of the problems with MS for me, that
Hmm.
I have a fatigue issue with it.
Mm. And it's a blessing in disguise for you because you know how to, again, you got to be in tune with your body, and you know how your body feels, and you know how it makes you feel. And if your body is feeling good, that's your body's way of saying, "Hey, you're doing some good stuff. Keep it up."
Right, right,
And when it comes to um, anything that's natural, one of the things that I like to warn people about, because one of the things that just makes me, because I studied the world of herbs for about 20 years, and I'm very knowledgeable in it. And I know I've forgotten more than most people might remember or might know themselves. But one of the things, and this includes anything we've said on this broadcast, please do not just rush out and get stuff, and do the research, look at it, see what
right.
what's a benefit for you, because so many times you let some guru on television talk about some particular natural supplement, and it is the next fountain of youth, and people just blindly go for it.
Mm,
And that is not the smart thing to do. Do your research, because you're talking about your health and your body.
right.
And do you want to spend good money to buy bad things for your body? Because if you're allergic to peanut butter, you're obviously not going to go to the store and buy peanut butter. That's my point.
Right, or peanut butter cookies.
Yeah. We'll send them over to Donna's house. We'll all meet over there and we'll have tea with her,
Yeah.
tea and cookies.
Yeah, it is really important to understand what you're putting in your body to find
Mm.
your health naturally.
Hmm.
And, we wanted to bring this to you because it's that time of year pretty much around the country.
Yeah.
Fall's here where, at least in my home,
Hmm.
um, it comes into it's cooler out. So there's more comfort foods that
Hmm.
are getting made.
Mm.
Uh, right. So what was it last week before I made potato soup?
Did you save me any?
actually,
No, but
actually, well, there is some in the freezer. It's
I
been
know this.
vacuum sealed,
Donna got a big scoop of it. Says this is for Jim,
right?
and enjoyed it.
Yes, I did. I did.
That's from the heart.
But tea in my world, tea is a staple
Yes, ma'am.
because it is just nice to have in an
Hmm.
evening. But knowing that we have added benefits
Hmm.
for our health,
Hmm.
especially as we grow older. When we're in our 20s, Jim, let's be realistic. We were invincible, right? There was no mountain we couldn't climb,
Mm.
right? There was nothing we couldn't do. In fact,
Mm.
we were going to conquer the world. Every one of us feels that way in our
Oh yeah.
20s, right? And then, as we get older and we start slowing down a little, especially when you hit, I think, the big 50, you're like, wow, where'd that first 50 years go to so quick?
When you're 20, you think about 50, 60. Oh, that's 100 years away. Don't even worry about
Exactly.
that. We
Exactly.
graduated from school. And we joke about it now. Our high school class, we were going to go out. We're going to set the world on fire. And
Mhm.
now I'm glad we didn't. My goodness gracious, can you imagine what a mess that would be? But it's so true. It's so true. It really is. And when as you get older and you appreciate life more, There's one other little thing that came to my mind that I want to share with the folks out there. One of the best ways that you can treat yourself, your body, to help lose weight is get up in the morning and just take a slice of lemon, put it in, if you like ice water or just tap water, or just room temperature water, whatever, it makes no difference. Put it in a glass of water and drink that, because that is what the people in Japan do, and it helps them to lose weight because you've been fasting. And what I do personally, I drink that while my coffee is percolating or dripping, and therefore then I'm ready to go. I'm ready now to have my coffee, to enjoy my coffee. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're concerned about weight and weight's an issue or something like that, please give that a try and keep it up for some time, because it's not going to happen overnight.
Well,
and water and lemon
overnight.
Yeah, water and lemon is a great thing for you. And also use that apple cider vinegar, that Tough Mother brand that I've shared on the show here a couple of times, because apple cider vinegar and water is good for you. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It really, truly is. Again, do all your research, take a look at stuff, and see if there's anything, if you're allergic to something.
And consult your physician.
Yes, and
if you're concerned, consult your physician. Absolutely.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's so important, because there's so many wonderful things out there that can help you enhance your health. And you are entitled to live a healthy life. Well, the best life you can.
You are. And understanding that without our health, nothing else in life matters.
That's right.
You can have all the money in the world, but if you have bad health, what good does it do to you?
Yeah. And for those that's suffering with health issues, being able to take something that will, help, alleviate the pain or maybe help you a little bit, please do so. But again, do your homework on it. Be sure and check with your medical doctor or someone of that nature to make sure that you're not hurting yourself. And
right.
Donna, we're out of time.
We are out of time, but we will be back tomorrow with some more interesting shows.
Oh,
we're excited.
And be sure, and when you buy teas, make sure you buy from a reputable company. We buy teas from different places, but one of the ones that I don't ever hesitate to buy from is Celestial Seasons, because they're just, I've done my research on them, and they're rock solid. And
right, and it's non-GMO.
Yeah, exactly. That is critical. That is critical. Well, Donna, our time is gone, and we've had 2 or 3 laughs today, and we've slurred our speech. There, I bet you there's people are wondering what they got in that tea there. I'm gonna drink what Donna's got over there. Yeah, I'll have what she's having there, buddy.
Oh, no worries. Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate you being here.
Yes.
On behalf of Jim and myself, thank you. Have a beautiful night, and make sure that you love yourself first so you can love others, and give yourself grace.
And some of my buddies out there, be good to yourself. And guys, try and behave. Otherwise, you're going to do some hard time in the hacienda. We'll see you folks tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.